Welcome to Drinking Bros, presented by BlackRifleCoffee.com.
I want to get into to Graham Allen, man. So you have like a really cool. So you started doing. Did you just go? I'm going to kind of talk about politics and like my opinion on American culture.
I wish I could tell you that I was smart like that. No, in fact, I was on the Ross Patterson show, and I said the same thing. It started as an accident. So an elderly woman ran me off the road one day. And so I did this little, 15 seconds video about how old people can't drive. And I did the little, the little scream thing at the end of it. So at the time I got like 12 comments and I was like, hey.
Is that funny? Social media always you're like, wait, I normally get 0 comments.
Yeah, no,
12.
Zero.
I remember those days.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember those
Everybody
days.
does. Yeah. Everybody does. Those are the fun days.
I remember
Exactly.
celebrating 1,000 views. That was a big deal.
Yeah. 1,000 views was a big deal, so I started doing it. And the daily rant thing kind of took on, but it wasn't until the Colin Kaepernick kneeling the first time, the first time it happened, the whole NFL thing, that I did a video about kneeling. And that was the first time that the whole Dear America thing, and all that kind of stuff happened. So it turned from, wow, these videos are really funny, to, wow, you should talk about this, or have you heard about this? And you should say something about that.
Out of it
Exactly. Yeah. And people started, I don't even have to watch the news or anything anymore. People just
feed you
the topics they
want
to see.
Like that rapper that had the white child hanging music video or whatever.
Extension.
Extension or whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I don't even.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it either, and I woke up to a couple hundred messages from people saying you need to do a video about this, and so
Well,
did a
you know what?
response video. and-
Here's a great thing about that. Do you find that people will send you messages on news stories or videos simply because they can't talk about it in real life, but they want somebody to talk about it?
100%.
Somebody to say it.
Yeah. So
when you wake up in the morning, I'm sure your inbox is full with mostly some similar stories, I would imagine.
Yeah, a lot of times. And so inadvertently, I accidentally stumbled into this thing that is kind of like a conduit for people to vent what they really want to say about a situation but feel like they can't, either for a job or a relationship reason. There's divided marriages in our society these days.
Absolutely.
On views and how people think about things. And so people have started I guess using these.
Of course, I want to have a threesome with another girl with my wife. She doesn't.
Well, she does not.
Those are just counterpoints.
I think you'll get her there.
Those are wishes. Those are wishes.
Those are wishes.
Actually, I don't even know if
That's not a viewpoint. It's a wish.
Wishes.
She's pretty perfect. I'm content with just her. Actually, more than content.
There you go. There you go.
But
nice
like
save.
you're saying, there's like social media has become this monster now that it's so ingrained in culture that there are a lot of people out there that have never been part of the public or even fathomed what it's like to be in the public eye, but they want to express their views, but they don't want it coming from them. They need somebody else to do it.
They need that barrier.
Because there is it's like, oh no, I shared it because my brother shared it or something like that. Like there's an excuse there if somebody disagrees with it.
Yeah.
Well, people
and
like,
they disagree with
undeniably
it.
want to be a part of a culture and a message that they're almost, not willing to put out themselves, but then have the same viewpoints. So you can sit back and be like, I think we're very similar in that context where I promote kind of the like, fuck it, it's me. I'm going to do what the fuck I want and just cuss a little bit. And people are afraid to necessarily do that in their own life because that might inhibit their like social networks and whatever they're doing in their personal life, but they wish they could just say, fuck it.
Well, there was
a
model we followed from the beginning where when we were talking about how we were going to produce our content and things like that, it was create things that no one can argue with. That's why we made fun of ourselves. That's why we made fun of everything, to where it was like, we're not ever standing on one side or the other. We're just giving you something that's funny.
Yeah.
But even like in his example, and from my standpoint, would be like you're a little more political in the sense like, hey, why are you kneeling in the national anthem and here and that? But ultimately, people probably can't bring that rhetoric to their workplace because they're going to be hyper counterpoints that might influence or change their professional or personal life. So they want to feel at home by watching a piece of content. It's the same thing we were talking about earlier before the show. It's like conservatives in Hollywood. It's saying you're pro-gun in Hollywood would red list you from fucking films. And it sucks because you're like, be who you are almost. And it's unfortunate that there's constructs in society that inhibit you from being who you are based off of your professional development or something. But like people and influencers can have that ability to kind of put that content out there where you're like, man, I feel at home watching a Graham Allen video or a fucking, Jared Taylor video, because I wish I could act like that.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. For those who can't, we'll say it for you. That's what I've always said in the back of my hand.
And that's what it feels like. And I feel like with you in particular in your channel on Facebook, that's what the attraction is of like, man, I want to come and this guy's, I know he's going to say what I wish he was going to say.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's certain events that happen too that people are like just waiting.
You get that feedback too.
Yeah.
Of people like, thank God.
Thank God.
Thank
you said
God
something.
someone said
Yeah.
it. Thank God somebody with a voice fucking pointed this out. Thank God, like, because we've seen it in the same aspect of, sitting, on the area that we are.
Right,
Not
yeah.
necessarily dividing it, but
Yeah.
making things funny.
Yeah.
But you probably get it a lot more focused.
It's just a really cool thing. And so the biggest thing that I never expected was for this to become anything that people would really want or other people find it to be really important, right? So I don't think anybody in the realm of what we do started making these videos because we thought, you know what, this is going to mean something
the
to somebody
masses
one
mean
day.
it, yeah.
Right.
I don't think any of us thought that, and so it's a really humbling thing, but it's also a really pressure-driven thing. And so, that's something that I've always wanted to pick your brain about is how much pressure do you guys feel to continue the success of what you do?
That's a great
over
question.
and over and
Yeah,
over
I've always
again?
wondered that too.